Welcome to the School of Healing Arts. Yeah. How do you feel?
Yeah, I like it.
How does the music feel? The music nice?
Very soothing.
It's soothing. So this is the discussion tonight.
Relaxing.
Our emotions, how we feel. Yeah? So you're all ready for that? All right? So let's start off getting right to how we feel with my favorite exercise, everybody else. And we'll face this way with our hands on each other's backs. Okay, you'll be okay. Yeah. Okay. So feel what's under your hands right now. What do you feel there? Just notice it. Hard, soft, hot, cold. Breathe, close your eyes and feel. Now we're going to wake it up with some chopping. Okay? Yes. You're not just being chopped by the person behind you, but this goes all through this half circle here. And you're going to bend your legs and chop a little lower. Get your partner's legs. Sort of fun. Loose fists now. Okay? Loose fists. Just enough to wake them up. Okay, bend. Do that bend. With your legs. Both sides. They have two sides, yeah? Feeling usually happens in twos. It takes two to feel.
Well, you could go
Two
harder.
hands. Two
Elbow.
legs. Two sides of the back. Two heads. Let's go open hands like that. Okay, now hold the lower back. This is going to be really, really important. To hold the lower back, the small of the back. And we're just going to warm this area up. Because I'm going to explain to you how this part of the body, just that lower back, is most important in giving us the courage to feel more deeply than we've ever felt before. So warm it up. Okay, get it hot. Get it hot? Not getting hot? Ask your partner. Get it warm. Okay, good. And now hold your partner's hips, not their waist, because they might be ticklish. Hold their hips. That's a bone, right? Hips are a bone. Breathe in, and move that chi. Breathe in, and partner's head. If you're tall, bend down so the person behind you can get you and wake them up. Get those brain cells activated. A little stronger. Go closer to her. That's it. We can all move. Push the person. Oh, that's a novel idea. We should move while we're doing this now. Okay, let's have a seat now. Okay, so you're all smiling.
Yeah.
Everybody's smiling. So that means you must feel good, right? Feel good. Okay, so what does that mean, feeling good? What I'd like you to do is scan your body a little bit. So look inside your body and notice physical sensations inside your body right now. They all got woken up, like your body parts, your cells. Those cells all got woken up. So what I want you to do is just feel what's going on inside your body. Feel from your head all the way down to your toes. Go through everywhere. Like you're looking inside instead of looking out in the world in front of you. You're looking inside the borders of your body. And you're noticing what's there. As soon as a thought comes, breathe it away and just go back to physical sensations. What am I physically experiencing? Okay? Right side, left side. You feel some vibration, just take note of it. Feel some warmth, tensions. You're giving your brain something to do, and all that is listening to physical sensations. Some of you are thinking. If you're writing, you must be thinking. So feel. Okay, so if I asked you before how you felt, and you all said good, or something like that. So what does that feel like in the body? So if somebody said, okay, you told me you felt good, what does that mean? What's happening in your body right now? I'm assuming you still feel pretty good. What does your body feel like, physically, when you feel good?
Calmness.
Calmer? So you feel like there's a calmness of the what?
I don't know.
Vibrations or something, yeah?
I felt lighter.
Lighter. Okay, you feel lighter when you feel good. I like that, okay.
I feel like you've got a natural buzz.
A natural buzz.
Yeah.
Okay, now a buzz would mean, what does a buzz mean for you? Where is that buzz?
I don't know, it's all throughout the body, I guess. It's,
Oh, yeah. Is that where you feel? Where do you feel the buzz?
Couldn't tell you. It's
Okay.
coming from my mind, so it's all through my body.
Okay. So this is our topic tonight, is where and what we're feeling when we say a particular word. What does that feel like in your body? Okay. So with buzz, you might all have a different idea. Come on in. Please come on in. Please welcome. Come on in.
I felt really alive and like awake and like I
Awake.
should be jumping around or something, like my body, like all my, I don't know, like my cells and my nerves were actually working instead of just sitting stagnant in my body.
So, like an activation?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah? You feel activated? Something like that?
yeah,
Is that what it is?
yeah.
You see what happens, how words somehow miss what's actually going on?
Yeah.
Like it's vibrating.
You feel a vibration?
Like my heart was racing a little
Yeah.
bit and like, yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna look at that. Some of these feelings of what they mean. We're gonna look at some of the components of what a feeling is. And one component, somebody said, what's your name?
Jonathan?
Jonathan said he felt lighter. Did anybody feel like more grounded? Or more centered? Okay? So that would be the opposite. Yeah? You feel, oh, I'm here now. So that's a little bit more grounded. Some people feel lighter. When I hear buzz, that's me. I just tend to think of things are going up.
Yeah, and I felt lighter as well.
You felt which?
I felt lighter as well.
Lighter as well. Okay. So we have all these words to describe two primal opposites that have been around for a long time. One is expansion, and another is contraction. Lots of different synonyms for these. So elation and grounding. Gravity is a scientific word for it, where we feel settled in our bodies, our minds, and our souls. And then what's the opposite of gravity? Any scientists here?
Levitation.
Levitation? That sounds like science. Okay. The opposite force of gravity is the electromagnetic force, which moves as the Earth is spinning. It sends energy up and around and actually protects us from our friend, the sun. Well, we all love the sun. If too much of those sun's rays were here, without electromagnetic forces protecting us from the sun, we'd all be toast. You know that? Anybody here like toast? It's a lot of heat, right? So these are two opposite forces that are governing whatever we feel in our bodies, minds, and spirits. So can you think of a time when you felt really, really down? You say that right now. So what's going on? Well, I'm feeling a little down. Yeah? You ever think of times in your life where you feel spacey or unconnected, disconnected? So those are the two opposites. Okay. Any questions or comments on that? You could define almost any condition in the body as having more of this one or more of this one. Yeah? And the Chinese call these what? What do they call these two forces?
Yin and yang.
Yin and yang, right? Okay, so the sun is, anybody know? Compared to the earth, earth is, do you know?
Oh,
Some of you know. Which is yang, the sun or the earth? That's good you don't know. That's good. It's better to not know. It can get confusing sometimes. So the sun is hot and the sun comes down, and things that come down generally are spoken that they come from the actual yang, the heaven world. And so yang is heaven's force, and yin is earth's force. So here's yin, here's yang. So that's a model that we could look at in terms of understanding what's going on with our condition. And if you go to see an acupuncturist, they will assess your condition in terms of excess yang or deficient yin, something like that. And we do that in our shiatsu classes here too, Zen-Touch shiatsu, which we're going to be doing later, okay? Now, there's another setup here. So these are the two primal forces, and then there's 5 variations of these forces that are connected with the seasons of the year and just about any association in life. And they're typically called the 5 movements, or the 5 seasons. What are our directions? What are our 4 directions?
Or southeast.
Thank you. So we have north, we have east, we have south, and we have west.
You also have southwest.
And we have variations of these, yeah? Different degrees. These, you could say, are the primal 4 directions. And of course, the Native Americans used that model, as did many cultures. And the Chinese added another one called center. Center. It was a central direction. How many senses do we have?
5 or 6.
5. Well, known, usable, that most people talk about. Okay. We have 5 senses. And those 5 senses help us to understand these 2 primal movements. Okay? And they're very much connected to our emotions. And let's break this down right now. Emotion. Energy in motion. Okay? So, the north is associated with a sense. The north is associated with more dark or more light?
light.
North has more light or dark? North has more darkness. South has more light. Yeah? So north is the darkest. Okay? Can you shut the lights? This is where things can get scary. In the dark.
It's better that way. It's
it's easier on the
Feel, feel a little bit of, oh gee, the lights are going out now.
No, it's calmer.
You like it better?
Yeah.
You could sleep better when it's dark, couldn't you?
Yes, I could.
Right.
When the light came on, it was really.
But if you hear a sound in the darkness when you're sleeping, you get scared, right? And you want to turn on a light, like you, right? Yeah, because it's the scariest when we hear a sound in the darkness. That's the scariest time. If the lights are on, we can see it and make sense of it, and then it's okay. So the dark is related to maybe our most primal fear. Okay? And it relates to the sense of sound. Okay? So we're going to feel some sound right now. And I'll come back to this later. Okay, well here's a nice sound. Feel it. I'm going to come around. Just notice where in your body you might be hearing it in your head and breathe into it, and maybe that sound will cover different places. Feel your body. Notice what you feel. Where you feel. Is there a part of yourself? Tell me. Where are you feeling something?
Pleasantness.
You feel
Pleasantness.
Where do you feel it?
My throat and my heart.
Here?
Yeah.
In this area? Okay.
Then in my eyes.
In your eyes? Where else do you feel it? Physical sensations.
Solar plexus area.
Solar plexus. So the same sound, and everybody feels it a little bit different. Nobody knows how you feel. But I bet they told you that, didn't they? I know how you feel. Everybody feels a little bit different. Okay? It's the beauty of our individualized life. Okay. Everybody feel okay? That was pleasant. Yeah? Soothing. All right. So let's do something else. Breathe again, close your eyes. Scan your body. Stay quiet. Where do you feel it? If it was dark in the night, and you were almost asleep, that'd be a little scary, wouldn't it? What's that? Okay.
That was cool.
It's cool. Okay, close your eyes. Go back. Go back.
Can I start all over again?
Go back. Go back. Back in your body, okay? I want you to notice where you're feeling things. Where is it?
My ears.
Say it too. Show. Watch everyone. Where?
Alright, shoulders and stomach.
Okay, where?
Right here.
There.
Ears. I
Okay.
got it here.
Here.
Side.
Side.
Yeah,
Arms. Elbows. So when John gets scared, he feels his elbows. Okay? Your heart thumped. Ears, solar plexus,
Heart.
heart, like where, left side or right in center?
Left side.
Center, left, okay. Yeah? So a lot of people are feeling it in their heart. Uh-huh.
Smack me right here.
Okay, now keep breathing. I bet you're a little more awake now, aren't you? Remember? Energy in motion. It makes energy. You're more awake now than all that pleasant little... That was sweet. But you got... When you felt that craziness. Okay? Again. Let's feel it. Close your eyes.
You're going to surprise us again.
Are you afraid? Are you feeling fear?
Maybe we should surprise him.
Where is it? Circulate it. Let it move. This is, everything so far, is the sense of hearing. And traditional cultures believed and asserted that we use the sense of hearing, especially in the darkness, to hear the message of our dreams, of our subconscious world that becomes a part of us when we're sleeping. So that's the dream world. We access this, and that's why it's a little scary when we hear something that takes us out of that vulnerable place, right? To sleep in the darkness takes us into a vulnerable place. So hearing can be helpful as long as we know how to use it. Right? And then, after we wake up, we get up. Why do we get up? According to the forces of nature, why do we get up? Because what else happens?
Sunrise.
The sun rises, yeah? Sun rises in your window, right? And the eyes wake up. And so now we have the eyes, are the windows of the soul. They let the light in so that that dream that we heard can now be seen. So we can use, and I'm going to come back to this later, we can use our eyes to learn about ourselves and to feel. So if you see something you don't like or you do like, it may cause some feelings. Like colors, yeah? What color do you like? Look around the room. What color do you like?
What color do I like?
Yeah. See anybody here with a nice color you like?
I like your shirt.
You like the shirt? You like the blue shirt? Okay. I like these pinks over here.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's focus on a color. You might see it here or you might see it in your mind. And feel that color inside you. Take a color and let it bathe you. So take it inside. It's from your eyes. You're seeing it whether your eyes are closed or not. You're seeing it inside you. And notice what it does. Take a bath in that color, okay? Go under that color. Be immersed in that color. Drape yourself with that color. Any color you like. And notice it if it affects different parts of your body. Do you feel that color going to some places of your body more than other places? So we can use sight to connect with our visions in life, yeah? All of these are energetic doorways to the soul. So yes, you've heard the expression, the eyes are the windows to the soul. So the ears are the ears are the sound of our soul. Yeah? Is that why we like music so much? Because different kinds of music resonates with our soul. Yeah? So these are all doorways into the soul. So a holistic approach to healing is to use these instead of them using us. Okay? We'll come back to all of these. Let's do the next one. Summer is associated, kind of an odd way from the Chinese model, with our taste buds. Because there's all these taste buds that are like fire on our tongue. Anybody like good food? Think of some food you really like. You can be as indulgent as you like, okay? Better to have your desserts this way sometimes, okay? So what I want you to do is just taste some wonderful food you really, really love. And just imagine it's in your mouth now and you're savoring it. Saliva starts to be secreted. And you swallow it. Feels so good to eat that delicious food. And this is associated with all the different emotional categories with passion and inspiration. We become inspired and passionate based on taste. We'll come back to these and the different emotions that they connect to. All right, and then the West is associated with smell. Now, smell seems like maybe the most subtle of all senses compared to touch, hearing, sight. It's maybe that with hearing is probably the most primal. In fact, we have probably the most extreme emotions are based on our sense of smell. You see, if somebody has difficulty hearing, it's no big deal. You hear this, you hear that. Or lots of people wear glasses. It's common. There's no big deal about seeing. Tasting, some people like this to taste, like that to taste. There's not a lot of drama on these senses. Touching, that we haven't really talked about, is another more rounded sense that's very, very important to us. But if somebody farts, or if somebody smells bad, or if all your friends walk into the bathroom after you take a poop.
All your friends, did you say?
All your friends. Your most loving friends, the most
That's
important, or the people you want to love you so much. If they walk into the bathroom after you take a real stinky poop, what do you feel? There's a lot of stuff there, isn't there? There's a lot of embarrassment. There's a lot of so we have a lot of self stuff around our scent. Yeah? All of these can be used. So, let's do this one. Anybody feel like... Okay. Now, some of you may actually be disgusted by this. There's incense is burning too much. You ever had that? You go, oh, that incense is too much.
This is sage stuff.
This is sage, yeah, but some people don't like it. Okay? So a traditional Native American ritual is to cleanse through the smell of the smoke that is breathed through all the pores, because we are breathing and we're sensing smell, not just with our two little nostrils here, with every part, with every cell of our body. So would you mind standing up? And you can all do this. So lift your arms up. This is sort of like security. I travel around a lot, so I'm sort of used to doing this. Where they would, instead of checking you for contraband, they're actually cleaning you before you go on the plane. How about that? Would that be nice? Before you get on the plane.
That's a perfect swing.
Okay?
Hail floating up from us.
Sweet. Okay? Is it okay?
Yeah.
It's good. Fire. Go ahead. So this was a traditional way to cleanse the body. The Native Americans would go into a sweat lodge and everybody would be sweating, but somehow it smelled okay because they were sage. Okay? Yeah, go ahead. Stand up. Yeah. Okay. Go all around. Good. Let's do this fast. It's building up anyway. I don't want to have too much of this room.
We want a lot.
Would you like sage?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll keep it burning.
Hey, you can get under my armpits.
Well, there you go. There you go. Okay. You want to be on my sage?
Can I do it?
Sage. Yeah, please, go ahead. Go ahead, sage everybody. Okay? So how's that smell?
Good. Good.
You like the smell?
It invokes memories. Like
Invokes
almost
memories.
like emotion. That would be the sensual like
Yeah.
emotion.
Yeah, some,
Because you
might remember something.
something related to that, or like I'm thinking, it made me think of like how mothers will smell scents from their children or whatever, and that can evoke memories, or food even is a huge smell factor. Like if you smell something you remember from your childhood experience or something.
Yeah. So it can evoke feelings.
Yeah.
Smell evokes feelings. You like that smell? Want to go around and help people smell that? So these have two different effects, these two. Does one help you to be more in your body and one helps you to be more elated and open? If you had to say, well, which one is more expanding or which one is more connecting, could you isolate that?
I think so.
Go, make sure everybody feels it. There's a big difference between these two scents.
Yeah.
I think you can probably, for most people,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
which one's that?
The one that she, the lemon patch.
That lemongrass, yeah. If you go, you'll feel it. So some scents and some effects have similar effects on every body. And they actually make a nice balance, it seems. I mean, now that I'm feeling both, that sage and that lemongrass, it seems to be a very nice balance of both.
Yeah.
Like invigorating and relaxing, yet grounded. Okay? So it'll depend on all of you. Okay?
So
Do you-
Simon, what is the energy motion? Where did that play in? I wasn't really clear.
Which is what?
The energy E-dash motion.
Well, this is just my breakdown of the word emotion. And then the five senses help us to discover and use emotion.
Emotion, E-motion.
Yeah, okay.
Energy.
Energy and emotion.
Okay. Emotion.
Right? So we use our senses to use emotions. So these are all holistic health therapies. And so again, just to review, from those two primal polarities of upward and downward, or expanding and contracting, this model shows us 5 different senses that we use to move those primal energies. And they're different. Smell is really different than sight. It's all using vibration. It's all vibration. So we use our senses to move, to experience vibrations in different ways.
So you mentioned touch.
Touch. We're going to get to touch. We'll get to touch. So we're quiet now. Yeah. So while these are helpful, sometimes when there's nothing, it gets uncomfortable. You know that feeling? The Taoist sage Lao Tzu used to say that when we get to that place in ourselves where we quiet all of these, where there's silence of all the senses, where there's no more up and down, there's no more vibration, we get to that place of unity, and this is called the Tao, or the way, or enlightenment. That ability to feel comfortable with nothing. So if you ask somebody, what's going on? Tell me, what's going on? I want to know. And they're just silent. It can be a little disconcerting sometimes. Yeah? Thank you. Anywhere you like. In the bowl. Oh, there is actually a bowl there. White bowl left. Okay. So these 5 states traditionally elicited 5 categories that are sometimes called feelings. Right? What I'm saying so far is that feelings are not categorical words like happy, angry, or sad, because remember when everybody got scared? You might have all said, oh, I felt fear, or I felt a little scared when you hit that, or it rolled on the floor. I don't know what you're feeling. Nobody knows what you're feeling until you actually go into the body. Okay? So one thing you can practice tonight, and after you leave here, is even though you're listening to me, you're using your sense of what? Which sense? Hearing. You're listening. Is to also notice what's going on in your body at the same time. This takes training. So that and it takes a lot of training to say it as well. So while I'm speaking to you, I'm also keeping a conscious connection to what's going on inside me, so that I can, instead of just be out there and all my energy is out here, it's also inside as well. And that can be very energizing. And you can do the same thing too when you're listening. So as you're listening and everything's going into your ears, to notice where it touches different parts of your body. Come on in. We need more chairs.
Get some
maybe.
chairs.
Candace, do you have a key? Could you go next door?
They're right outside.
It has to be open. That classroom's locked. Candace, that classroom's locked. Oh, they're there. Okay. Okay. Okay, so feel it in your body, okay? So what I want you to do is turn to someone right now and say, hi, how are you doing? Just strike up a little conversation, but before you do, everyone listening to me, listen. You're going to be talking while you're feeling what's going on in your body, okay? So listen to inside as well as your hello, how are you? Okay? Go ahead. Listen inside. Notice what's going on in your arms. What's going on in your torso? Breathe. And when you laugh, where is that laugh? Okay? When you smile, where is it? Sure. Mingle.
Tell me how you feel. Did you open up your chakras? I see.
Okay. So far, did you feel what was going on in your body?
She did.
That's different, right, than what you usually do. Imagine if you're talking all the time, or if you're listening all the time without being in your body, it could be tiring. Yeah? Right? So this is maybe a new skill for you to start working on. All right. And so far this has been pleasant, what we've been doing. It's been pretty easy.
Are we going to get unpleasant now?
Would you like to? Because usually when I do a class based on this, we go right into some of the funky, oh no, what's going on in my body kind of stuff, right? So we've been keeping this fairly pleasant right now. So I'm hoping your energy's building and you're ready to go a little deeper. Okay. Polarities. So we've talked that everything is a manifestation of polarities in the body. Okay. Well, we live in this very odd planet here where growth is based on opposites. So if we like the sun, and we like flowers and the moon,
Stars.
that's not enough for us to grow. We also need the rain. We also need the storms. We need the fires. All of that. It's just an odd setup here where the real growth, the real development of the soul that we connect with all these senses to gets its development and its depth through difficulty. Did you ever know someone you didn't like, worked through something with them, and they became very, very close with you? Okay? That's how the soul grows. Those people that support you all the time and agree with you all the time, say, oh, you're the best. You're just the best. Whatever you do, unconditional love. I love you, I love you, I love you, unconditionally. There's no growth from that. So everybody says, I want unconditional love. No.
You don't.
You don't. Nobody wants unconditional love.
Where did we get that?
That's a fantasy. Because what we're doing is the opposite. We want to learn from those conditions. Right?
Yeah, we do.
So if you smell really bad, do you want that person to love you unconditionally, or do you want them to say, take a bath? Okay? Right? So we can learn from both. I'm suggesting that the biggest growth comes from our ability to be in that crazy little place it sometimes seems like, that darkness where we don't know where we're going to land. And then we seem to be okay, and something comes out of it. That's true growth. Deep, deep growth. So this is a little bit opposite of the whole Louise Hay that everybody likes so much. Of course, I like her books too. But this would be the opposite. I'm suggesting that we get more comfortable with being uncomfortable when someone says an affirmation to you like, you're no good and you're worth nothing at all. Instead of, I'm self-loving and I'm worth everything in the world. Instead of that, somebody says to you, you're no good, you're bad, you smell, you're dirty, you're stupid. Right? It feels, are you feeling something when I say those words? Feel it. Where do you feel that in your body? When you feel that disgust, like, feel it there? Okay. So we use that. Breathe into it. There's more energy in that. There's more energy in being able to turn that around and re-solve it. Yeah? Re means to come back, to do it again. Repeat, yeah? Means to re-solve what came to you. So instead of, well, he or she said I was A, B, C, D, or E, we look back. It's like we get something out of it, and then we develop respect, which means to look back and see it.
As
Spectacle. Right? Spect is spectacle. So we re-look at it, and we use a sense of vision to see it in a different way, to frame it in a different way that gives us growth. So it takes a certain amount of bravery to come here in the first place. Imagine the soul who says, you know, I could go to that planet over there where there's lots of green trees and rainforests and beautiful hair and everything. It's just wonderful. Or I could go to that place where I'm going to learn from war. I'm going to learn from fear. I'm going to learn from people who are difficult in my face. That place or this place? I think I'm going to go there. We've all done that. We've all made that choice to come to this place where there's adversity, where there's polarity. And the more, I'm suggesting, the more we get comfortable with being in our bodies and letting this energy move through us, then it's okay when there's difficulty. Because we become more and more comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that changes the polarities. Vulnerability. Yeah, as you can see, I like words, especially English. Do you know what vulnerability means? Wound. The ability to be wounded. Okay? Ability to be wounded. The ability to heal. Wounds heal. Yeah? You ever cut yourself? It's fine now, right? We have the ability to heal. Okay, so 5 reactions. Instead of feeling, so instead of going to a place of vulnerability, there are, according to this model, and I'm sure there's many others too, there are 5 traditional ways that we respond. Instead of resolve, instead of look back and go deeper and get into the uncomfortability, there are ways that we could react to avoid the depth of the feelings that will ultimately heal us. Okay. Who wants to ask me a question? Anybody volunteer? Would you volunteer?
What is
It's
it?
Linda.
Yes.
Would you? All you have to do is ask me the question. What are you doing?
Oh, what are you doing?
Whatever. I do whatever I want because that's who I am. I'm out of here. That's the whatever response, where we avoid conflict at all costs and write it off for some reason and move away.
But didn't you just create a conflict?
Not to me. I'm in the infinite universe. And I'm one with the infinite universe. I don't know about her, but I'm one with the infinite universe. I'm fine. Okay? Okay?
You just created a big conflict.
Not for me. I'm one with the infinite universe. I'm one with God.
I was always told that whatever is equal to F you.
Yeah. That's what I hear in those words.
Okay? That's your problem, because I'm fine. Okay? So this is a way,
You are for...
this is a way of avoiding, right? Avoid. This is a way of avoiding our connection, right? I don't want to go there. She's challenging me, so I'm going. People do that. Okay. That's one response, and that relates to the hearing. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Okay? Okay, would you mind doing it again?
No problem.
Sorry, what did you say?
I said, no problem.
So you're going to ask me, what am I doing?
What are you doing?
I'm doing what I want to do. What are you going to do about it? Ooh, gee, I just felt a lot of energy when I said that. What is that going to do to Linda?
Well,
Is she going to stick around me if that's my response all the time?
Looks like she laughed at you.
If it was real?
If it was
Yeah,
real,
but
no, I
you-
would avoid
If
it.
it was real,
You
if
did.
this was me and our response together, what would she do?
I would avoid it.
She would avoid it.
yeah, but you just did something to her that was really not nice. So it's like...
That's another one. That's another one. Okay? Right? So now, the first one is I got out of the way to not feel. The second one was I got rid of her so I don't have to feel. I pushed her away so I don't have to feel it anymore. And I got a little bit of energy from doing that. Just like the first one. I got a lot of energy from being out in the infinite universe. Instead of being in conflict, I got a little bit of energy, nice little surge of heat, by getting angry at someone and pushing them away. Yeah? Okay? And then another response.
What are you doing?
Oh, well, let me just go back. Just ask me that in a moment. This was my eyes opened up when I did that, yeah? I saw you in a certain light, and I pushed you away with my eyes, anger, through the eyes, okay? Yeah?
Well, would there be a way for you to respond differently?
There sure
I
is.
mean, so
Yeah.
that for her to respond differently, that
There sure is.
she's guarded.
There sure is.
You gonna teach us?
We'll see. Okay. All right, so we got the ears. I didn't want to hear it in the first place. Now, I don't want to see it, so I don't want to see you anymore giving me any conflict, so you're gone. Okay? And by the way, these are all connected to our internal organs, which if you study here, you learn all of that, where the first one's related to the kidneys and the reproductive system. This last one, seeing, is connected to the liver and the gallbladder. So these are all integrated into what's going on in our bodies and how we can change those behaviors through foods and different suggestions, okay? Okay, the next one.
Just afraid to ask now.
Say it. What are you doing?
Well, it's just, I'm losing it. It's just, it's too much. I like that. I can't even add. What do you call that? What's my mood? What words would you put on that? Anxiety, right? So what's your response if somebody goes into that? You're concerned, right? You might even, well, wait, can I get you something?
Drawing.
And I go, oh, gee, why do you like that? When I went into anxiety, she gave me water, somebody else brought me food. Somebody put an arm on me. I forget how. This anxiety thing gets me some energy. So we learn at a very early age that one of these behaviors might, instead of resolving the whole issue, we could at least get a little bit of energy out of it. So we repeat them. Okay?
What are you doing?
You know, my brother, my mother, and my sister, and my kids, all last night were just so horrendous. I did it because I didn't have a choice.
What did you do?
I had to take care of my kids, and my mom called me. You know my mom, right? She's a real... I blame other people for why I did what I did. It wasn't my choice. I did it because of them. Do you feel sorry for me now that I have to deal with those people? See where I'm going with this? My situation is so difficult because of my outer circumstances that maybe I can get you to feel sorry for me. And there's a lot of energy in that, isn't it? Oh, shoot, give me a, can I have a hug? Sure. Right? Now I got touch. Yeah? I got touch from that. I got a hug, connection, and maybe even agreement. Yeah, those people over there, they are really hard. And those people over there, or that person over there, I agree with you. And this is where gossip comes from, by the way. Did you hear about her? Did you hear about her? Yeah, I agree. Yeah. People bond and connect through wounds. Oh, I heard her story. Do you know what happened to her? She had this and that and this and that. Oh, let's help her out. It's okay. Are we using that or is it using us? Is the question to all of these. Are these helping us to get a little bit of energy, or are they taking us away from the true growth that we get when we start to resolve them, when we start to look back and feel them in our bodies and start to heal from them instead of doing the same old reactions? The last one is,
What are you doing?
you're right, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I messed up completely. I always do. You're fine. I'm no good. It's my fault. That's it. Now I don't have to deal with it. Okay? I don't have to deal with when you had anything to do with it. I just take it on myself. Say, you're right, it's my fault. I don't want to connect with you. It's my fault. I'll fix it. I'll take care of it. And that's guilt. And when it comes to, that's the West. When it comes to guilt, there's the disgust. Because if this happens enough to me, and I really start believing it inwardly, then I start to look at myself as not making a mistake, but maybe I am the mistake.
That's shame.
Shame, blame. So, right, that's the big difference, a big jump, right? Instead of going, oh, I made a mistake. Will you forward give me? Okay? Will you forgive me? So, give me, from here on, I can do better. At some point, if there's enough mistakes, and everybody else seems to be okay, and I keep making a mistake, I keep making a mistake, I feel shame, blame, and then I might go, I am the mistake. And that could be the end of it. This would be the last phase, where somebody either gets it together and goes into forgiveness and kindness, or splits, exits. So those, according to the seasons and 5 elements are the different categories of emotional reactions instead of responses, instead of resolutions. Which do you do? Do you do all of them? Do you do one more than another? Think about the last conflict you had with somebody. You remember the last conflict? Big one? Choose a big one, maybe. Whatever you like. What was your first response? I'll bet for sure when somebody said something to you that you didn't like, I wonder if you did what you're learning today to first go, where is it? To notice where it's showing up in my body, breathing through it, let it circulate before you respond. That's what I'm suggesting we do. So to give us the time to feel it and let it circulate a little bit, and then get some energy from that before we just run away or push away. Yin and yang. It's either one or the other. It's either I make distance and space, or I get closer to push them away. It's one of the two in all of these.
What was the sense that was the last one that was related with shame and my fault? And...
Sense of smell.
Oh, that was a smell.
Again, that's where we have our greatest shame.
Okay.
It's the lungs and large intestine. Yeah.
Forgive, are you saying that's not resolving it? Forgiveness?
I can certainly forgive. Yeah, forgiveness is... So in this moment, that's all we have.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of being stuck in the past and saying, I am a mistake, let's be kind in kindness.
That resolves it, though, correct?
I hope so.
Yeah, okay. I was just confused there.
All of these are possibilities.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I'm suggesting that how they get resolved is going where. So not why I did something.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody goes into why. You all do why, right? So when there's something off, it's a real common tendency to go, okay, well, why? I want to know why. Why this works, why this doesn't work. What I'm suggesting we all do, instead of go to why, before you go to why, go to where.
Here.
Where is it? Where is this showing up? Okay. And where do I want to go in this world? If we can remember that. Where do you want to go? Where does everybody want to go? Ultimately, big picture, where do you want to go? To your heart? What does that mean? In relationship, where do you want to go in relationship?
You want to grow.
You want to grow? Okay. You want to
Have fun,
have fun? Okay. Where do you want to go in your relationships?
understanding,
You want to go to understanding?
go to peace.
Go to peace?
Balance.
Balance?
Friends.
Okay, so before you go, why the F did you do? Okay, so instead of doing that, go to where is this? Okay, where is this in my body? Breathe, let the energy move, and then just ask yourself, where do I want to go with this person? And not even this person. Where do I want to go in my life that this person is reminding me and challenging me to still want to go to peace, to still want to go to fun, to still want to go to balance. Okay? Focus on the where. What do you think?
And aren't you standing here already? In peace and balance and fun.
Well, we are right now. So right now,
Not as a basic
this makes sense, right? I mean, you'll like this so far. Does this make sense? Okay. Now, so to test it, I learned this great stuff last night. Fantastic. I'm going to go into the where. Well, as soon as you walk out the door, you may be challenged. Right? You're walking on Garnet, there's people drunk, and there's cars. Okay. So you are going to be challenged, because that's what happens on planet Earth. Earth's school is adversity. And the challenge comes to you, practice where?
The teacher comes.
Yeah, that's right. And so when someone comes to you as your teacher, the postman, whatever you want to call it, you go, okay, where am I going with this? Where do I want to go? This person is giving me a message. Where do I feel it? And where do I want to go with this? Not why. That's another reaction that we do, is we go to the brain to figure it out, and that takes us out of this bigger part.
There is no answer to the question mark. No answer.
The answers come when we stop asking the questions. Now, I love intellectual banter, and I love to know why too. I'm just like all of you. Why is a fascinating place? And the deep answers come when we shut up in here. We're just quiet. If an answer's supposed to come, great. And this is why people do what? Everybody's hustling. Meditation. So in the old school, this is what they meant by being present, be in your body, meditate. And so I'm giving you just a little bit more info maybe on how to do that as a walking, daily, living meditation. That it may be easier to sit like this when nobody's around. What I'm suggesting is how can we live that on a daily basis, on a momentary basis, when someone's in our face or running away from our face, and we be in that place, be in the where. And where am I now, and where would I like to go? Where am I choosing to go? Okay, so questions, answers, comments, anything?
At what point, is there ever a point where, I don't know, where you do need to like stop and be like, okay, this is not serving me, the other person in the situation maybe just is not reacting in a way where there could become resolution?
Yes, okay.
Like, of course I want to grow, but I also don't want to have him stick a gun to my head or
That's
like
right.
kick
Thank
me
you.
in the shin. Or...
Great question. I'm glad you brought this up. Okay, so extremes.
Right.
There are some extremes that are too much for us, and that's why when there's a big sound in a room, we're programmed to get the heck out of there because it could kill us. Short of that, we maybe could stay. Short of harm, and that's something everybody needs to ask themselves, is this harmful to my soul? Granted, if I was enlightened, I might be able to handle it. Right now, in this moment, is this assisting me? Or do I need to get out of here because it's too much, it's more than I can handle? Okay? So yeah, someone's in your face. I'd like to tell the story. You know that shopping center where Bond's gas station is on Bryantson? I was there late at night. I thought there was a 24-hour place open. I needed to get something, so I went in this parking lot. It wasn't open, I saw, and there was nobody in the parking lot. And there are stop signs in that parking lot. Okay. And I just went through one of the stop signs. There's nobody around. I saw a car coming, but it was safe, so I moved ahead and I went through the stop sign, and then this car pulled around to the side of me, right, and rolled down his window, and there was this guy. I don't know what he was on, but his eyes were outside the windows of the car, and looking right at me, screaming and telling me. Now, is this a moment for me to go, all right, let me feel this? Because I considered it. Where am I feeling this? And there's a whole communication model. I could have gone in with some empathy here. Are you feeling because I went through the stop sign? And no. I needed to get out of there fast. So that's what you're talking about, right?
Radical human life.
Yeah. So there's times where intuition, because ultimately intuition is our guidance, and we can ask for, okay, here's where I am right now. I'm feeling all this stuff in my body. Do I stay? Do I know? Intuition will tell you, as long as you do the first step, as long as you go, where is this? Breathe, let it circulate a little bit, and keep yourself clear enough to hear the voice telling you, stay or go. Another way that you can reality check this is ask yourself, so that's intuitive, yeah, and you listen to that voice, yeah. Another reality check is, ask yourself, is the juice worth the squeeze? Okay? You understand what I mean by that? Do you get that metaphor? Is the juice, is the energy, is the emotion, is the change, is the resolution that I'm going to get from this, is it worth it? Maybe there's no juice in there. Okay? Yeah.
Sometimes it gets a little fuzzy though, because if someone got hurt in a relationship,
Yeah.
and they feel that pain, you know, and they're not willing to get over that, that's, you got to push the boundaries sometimes. You know?
Yes.
You really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we want to get to that place where we are a little bit vulnerable.
Yeah.
And just enough so that we're actually getting energy from it. So that we actually are healing as we go into the, I don't know about this place, I usually don't go in there, but as we do it, we're breathing and we're feeling that, you know what, I'm finding my way through it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that, again, that's where intuition, as long as we let it, as long as we stay out of the why and the here's another one. Please remember these have really helped me a lot. Analyze. Analyze. You obviously do this, you've done this, okay? Or rationalize.
What is
Well, I'm going to stay because I went to a class last night and I heard I'm supposed to do this and then I'm going to do that. I'm going to wear it, I'm going to feel it, and then you could be in danger.
What is an
Anal.
Analyze.
Analyze? Right? Analyze? Pretty good?
I'm glad you remembered that.
So that's another one. Okay, is this intuition or is this intellect? There's another good one that may help you get through this, to know where you're supposed to be, in it or away from it, or a little further back from it, whatever you choose. Is this intellect or is this intuition? Ask that question. Your body will tell you. Feel it instead of feel it.
Do you have any tips on letting go of wanting the other person to use this model too?
You can certainly share this. Certainly share it. Usually what happens is when you're doing this, and especially if you're changing one of your reactive behaviors that the other person is very familiar with and may even be counting on you to do because they get energy from it, is you change your reaction and you start feeling, and they go, what's going on right now? Because you're doing something different than what you usually do. And then that's where you can share, well, I'm listening to how this feels and where this is in my body before I respond, because where I want to go is peace with you. And I want to get closer with you. That's where I'd ultimately like to go. And so before I do that, I just want to feel what's going on. And you see all of a sudden the relationship just changes. Stay in the where it is. Notice how it feels, and where do you want to go with it? Yeah.
the journey to the wound?
The journey to the wound, yeah.
But that has to happen. The journey to the wound before you can resolve and respect.
Yes. The journey to the wound. So a little bit about wounds. From this perspective of response ability, You start doing this too. So I know
Like
your
a good
words.
book title, doesn't it? Journey to the Moon?
Okay, so responsibility. It's not about who caused it. It's not about why it's there and who did it. It's more about, in the now, how do I respond to it? From this movement, from this moment now, how do I respond to go forward? Forward, how do I give forward on? So any wound that happened to us, I'm suggesting is it happened because we have the exact skills necessary to resolve it. This is a world of no victims. In this place that I'm talking about, the perpetrator was the exact person necessary for me to learn from. They're the angel. If I blame them, I didn't get the lesson. And it may take me some time. I may need to distance myself from it before I come back to it and get the lesson. That's fine. We have the skills necessary and we attract the exact perfection of circumstances that help us to heal. Some people need to be raped. Some people need to be almost murdered. Some people need a loud voice from a mom or dad. There's no right or wrong in any of that. Some people can take more than others. The strongest souls get the strongest influences. Okay? So, if you're a strong soul and you're not going anywhere, then you may attract a strong stimulus to help you grow. And that can look like cancer, that can look like some strange person, because you have what it takes to re-solve it. If you insist on blaming somebody else, and they shouldn't have done that, then you don't grow. I know that's a lot. It could seem like a lot to take on. So Hitler's coming to mind. Everybody knows Hitler, right? What a great person or soul that could have been to teach us about world peace. Because we don't learn about world peace from the Martin Luther Kings or Mahatma Gandhis or Sister Teresa. We don't learn about world peace from them. That doesn't seem to work. So we keep getting some angel who says, all right, I've got to give them polarity, so I'm going to come down to this world as a devil so that they can learn how to be closer to God. Imagine the soul that gives up that angelicness to become a big perpetrator. But we still didn't learn it. Right? We still haven't learned it. And until we learn it, there's going to keep on. We're going to have the World Trade Center or whatever it is until we finally learn to be peaceful. So your enemies are angels in disguise. They have a mask on.
Can I say another word? Oh, they're psychopaths.
So you're psychopath. So divide it, right? What do you get? Psycho, psyche, path. They're the stimulus, the catalyst to your life path.
Well, you know, if we understand the nature of the psychopath, I think that's really why we have the conflict that we have, is because we don't really understand that the dynamic of that mind. That's life.
And I'm suggesting understanding might be helpful.
Well, it certainly does help to understand.
It doesn't take us any further.
Well,
It might cause a little bit of peace for you.
I actually can spot them now.
Okay, great. So you can spot them, and that gives you some sort of peace about it, some sort of grounding. So it helps you to protect yourself.
It does.
Yeah. So that's helpful so you can be safe, for sure.
Where does this soul come from?
Thank you.
We have another couple hours.
You're asking. Seymour?
The soul's here. The soul is here.
It's here.
It's here. It's right here. This is it. The soul is here. Consciousness is here.
Is it different between everyone that you're saying?
This is the wise. Okay, which are fine and interesting. It's really interesting to look at all the different theories and the vibrations and the colors and all that's really, really interesting. Just feel. And you will feel the soul. Okay? Just stop your mind for a minute and breathe. You'll feel the soul. And you'll feel where the soul is. It's right here. Where does it come from?
This
Is it? That's it. It's just too simple for the intellect. Okay?
well, isn't the soul, I mean, if I think of my soul, I think of an observer.
Okay. That's fine.
Observation.
Fine. But what do you do with that?
Observe.
I'm suggesting feel it. Not just look at it. Smell it.
Well,
Taste it.
Observation would be through the senses.
Okay. So that's a big lesson, yeah? That you have the skills necessary to change something. That's why it shows up. Okay? And the more enlightened we get, the more skills we have, then the more that keeps on happening. It never stops. Right? You know that. You say, oh, Joe, it's such a good place in my life. You ever say that? Oh, this is great. It's such a good place right now. This is so great. And then what happens? Again, it just keeps on going again and again so we can get deeper and deeper and deeper. Remember these phrases. Get more comfortable with being uncomfortable because it's going to continue and continue. And then there is no more polarity anymore because you're just okay with being sad and crying, whatever it might be. You're just in it. You surrender. And that's where all the growth and that's where all the creativity comes from. And it's not complicated. Let me just finish. All problems. Who remembers this one? Been to my class. There's a category on Facebook. Anybody here on Facebook? They ask what your relationship status is. Right? And this is all about relationship. Everything's in twos, right? So the center is all about relationship. We have two arms, two noses, two eyes, there's two, and before I said there's two heads. We have two heads. We have a right and left brain, okay? And they're really different, okay? We have two of everything, and the relationship between ourselves and others makes problems. That we sometimes say in our brain, if we go into the why, is complicated. They're not complicated. Problems are very, very simple. They come from the past. These are the P's. They're projected from the past relating to parents and parenting, and partners. And that means everybody else is a partner of some type in this world. That's it. It's not complicated. Any problem we have in our lives is because something happened in the past that's similar, brought up by either a parent or some kind of partner, whether it was a work or a lover or a spouse. And that's it. And here it is again. And now we're here to resolve it. So we resolve it, it keeps on coming up. And when we resolve it, give me some good peace now. What comes from that energy? When we go, okay, where do I want to go?
Peace.
Peace. Some other ones.
Joy.
Peace. I want peace.
Present.
Present.
Prosperity.
Prosperity.
Purpose.
What is it?
Perfection.
Perfection. Yeah. Perfection means no ups and downs. Great. What?
Purpose.
Purpose.
Principle.
Principles.
Passion.
Passion.
Terrible.
Okay? So, another way to look at problems is polarity. Okay? So, from polarity comes, is there a P that would connect polarity? Maybe all the ones you said. Okay? So what are you going to do when you leave here tonight? When there's a conflict? What are you going to do?
We're gonna stop
Resolve.
asking.
How are you going to resolve?
We're gonna stop asking questions.
Stop asking why. And go where?
Where?
Into the body.
Into the body, yeah.
Where is it happening? Shifting.
And
Agitating.
where do I want to go? And where do I want to go in my life?
Yeah, where do I want to go with this situation?
And who tells us where to go?
Intuition.
Intuition. Great, you folks have been listening. Thank you very, very much. We're going to now do touch. Okay? So we're going to move these chairs away, and we're going to get into the world, the subconscious world of touch. So take a little break, okay? And anybody wants to help with the mats out? That would be